As we enter the spring season, in most cases, grass is thought to be harmless, but there are some species of grass, Kogan grass specifically, that can be hazardous to our industries and ecosystem. We have our Nixon Norman live in the studio tonight. Nixon, tell us more about this species of grass.
Kenesha, I spoke with the folks of the Alabama Department of Agriculture and Industries, and they are actively trying to keep an eye on this Kogan grass situation. They want people to be aware of what this grass looks like and how to report it, so that we can eventually get rid of Kogan grass here in Alabama. This invasive species has now infested more than 75% of Alabama's counties. It was introduced to the U.S. back in 1911 as packing material in the port of Mobile. But in the decades since, it has greatly expanded and become more dangerous. Not only does this pesky grass impact people's front yards, it also impacts taxpayers' wallets.
It costs about $300 per acre to treat. And right now we're looking at about $60 million in taxpayer funds to control and treat Kogan grass. And that's mainly just on right-of-ways. That doesn't include homeowner and landowner property.
And if you're having a hard time visualizing the effects of an invasive plant, let me remind you of kudzu, an invasive species that has already made the U.S. its home.
Kudzu has really gotten out of hand, so it's something that we don't try to treat. But with Kogan grass, it really impedes on agricultural industries and our natural ecosystem. So we're really trying to do everything we can to control it while we have the chance.
As Alan mentioned, part of the reason we want to control this grass is because of the agricultural obstacles it creates.
Livestock cannot really eat or digest Kogan grass. They'll really kind of avoid it. And it's not something that we want in our hay. A lot of times if hay farmers have Kogan grass in their pastures, the seeds will get in the hay, and then when they transport it, they're just spreading Kogan grass to another area.
As well as the environmental impacts it brings on.
It also inhibits the growth of native plants. So a lot of the native plants that we see in our natural ecosystem won't be there much longer if we continue to let Kogan grass get out of control.
ADAI has recently launched a social media campaign to bring awareness to this invasive species. And there is also an app you can download in order to report a sighting of Kogan grass, which in the long run will get rid of it. And for more information on how to download those apps, you can head on over to fox54.com. But before I go, while speaking of this invasive species, Alan, the rep I spoke with from ADAI, also says be on the lookout for red barren grass, also known as Japanese blood grass. It's commonly sold in your garden sections and nurseries, and while it's really pretty, it's literally another strain of Kogan grass that just happens to be red. And although color and appearance are different, the spreading capabilities of this plant remain similar. And so basically it's best not to buy red barren grass if you see it out, and if you already do have some of this grass at home, please do not go out into your yard and plant it into the ground. Again, for more information about Kogan grass in general and what to do if you think you've spotted some, head on over to fox54.com. Live in the studio, I'm Nixon Norman, Fox 54 News.